Stop, my child. Hear me now. I see the weight you carry, and the way confusion tries to cloud your mind. You have felt the quiet battle inside you, the pull for peace, and the tug of old unrest. And now, something fundamental is changing. Don't mistake this for a passing mood. What is unfolding in you is deliberate, intentional, and rooted in a protection that is being placed around your life. Right now, a sacred boundary is being established. Not a fragile line that disappears with pressure, but a carefully formed shelter meant to hold through seasons. In the hours you spent wrestling with doubt, when you thought the world would overwhelm you, there was an unseen hand forming a secure space. This is not reactive, this is purposeful formation. While the world rushes and fragments, a quiet structure is being built around your emotions, your thinking, and the deepest parts of your spirit. Within that circumference, there will be preservation of your peace. When your inner calm falters, it is not evidence that the protection has failed. It is an invitation to remember the work being done on your behalf and to rest into it rather than push against it. Certain forces look for that exact moment when you loosen your hold on what is true. They press in when a heart loses its center. But right now, I am intercepting those patterns. I am blocking distractions, defusing traps, and cutting off the subtle pulls meant to confuse or slow you. This does not mean you will never face difficulty. It means difficulty will not have the last word. You are not collapsing under pressure. You are being lifted into a steadiness that refuses to be erased by outside turbulence. As this boundary forms, you will begin to notice subtle shifts in the way you perceive things. Confusion that once tangled your thoughts will start to separate into clear threads. Decisions that used to paralyze you will take on shape and direction, not because life has become painless, but because your mind is being cleared and your heart is being reinforced. The covering around you sharpens your awareness, yet it does not numb it. You will feel more able to tell what belongs to you and what is noise from the crowd. You are being set apart not because you are more worthy than others, but because you are being entrusted with something essential. There's a purpose forming in your life that requires you to be kept intact. You are being given a preserve for your truest self, the part that was made for quiet strength and clear sight. When others spin in currents of panic or division, you will remain an island of steadiness. This is not a call to isolation. It is a call to preservation so you can carry forward what has been entrusted to you. Feel this shift as more than temporary comfort. Receive it as a declaration. A deep quiet is settling over your inner life. It persists even as outside circumstances stumble. It clarifies confusion, filters noise, and protects your inner space. Patterns that once pulled at you, recurring anxiety, relentless rumination, spiritual interference, are being interrupted at the root. This is not merely relief, it is a restoration of order and a return to the posture you were designed to hold. You will also notice a change in how people and opportunities interact with you. Situations that used to drain you will be less able to find purchase. Those who drew from your spirit will find their influence blocked. It will not always be dramatic. More often, it comes as a quiet turning, a natural repelling of what does not belong near your purpose. When false ties fall away, do not assume abandonment. Understand it as a clearing that makes room for the mission you are being prepared to steward. When doubt creeps in, do not let it define your moment. Speak back to it with the memory of this protection. Remember that the covering being established is precise, wrapped around your body, your emotions, your thinking, and your deepest spirit. No part of who you are is left exposed. You have a shelter that follows you, made not of earthly materials but of intention, presence, and a settled truth that will not be undone by passing storms. This sacred boundary is not passive, it is active and purposed. It does not merely keep harm at bay, it sharpens your capacity to move forward. As your inner clarity grows, your steps will also gain steadiness. Hesitation will no longer be the habitual place you live. Instead, moments of pause will serve as recalibration, and movement will be accompanied by discernment. The unseen world aligning around your life is not a metaphorical consolation. It is the realigning of circumstances, perceptions, and inner faculties so you can walk with greater surety. So, when you feel the shift, when your breath steadies, when your thoughts settle, when hesitation becomes a brief pause instead of a paralyzing wall, recognize it. Stand within this truth. Let the sacred structure do what it was made to do: guard, guide, and preserve. You did not arrive here by chance. This protection is given because what you carry matters. Keep your attention on that fact, and allow the quiet work around your life to continue its building. You are being kept for a purpose, and this first movement toward that purpose is a bedrock for everything that will follow. Keep faith with the slow, steady work you cannot yet see. Let this be the ground from which you rise. My child, listen closely, because what is happening within you now is not destruction. It is purification. Old wounds you carried in silence are being washed clean, not to expose your pain but to release you from it. You are no longer required to drag yesterday's heaviness into tomorrow's assignments. What once felt like an indistinct burden pressed against your spirit is now being lifted piece by piece. This cleansing reaches deeper than your thoughts. It moves through the hidden parts of you, the places even you rarely visit, loosening everything that has weighed you down for far too long. You're stepping into a clarity that isn't harsh or demanding. It's gentle, precise, and unmistakably true. The fog that used to cloud your decisions, the confusing blend of feelings that made choices feel heavy, those are dissolving, not because you forced change, but because something sacred is removing what no longer aligns with your path. This clarity will feel like seeing your own reflection for the first time after years of distortion. You'll recognize yourself again, not the bruised version shaped by past experiences, but the one originally designed with strength and honesty woven into the center. As this inner cleansing continues, relationships around you will shift, sometimes quietly, sometimes abruptly. Do not fear the movement. Some people were never meant to walk with you beyond a certain point. Their presence was tied to seasons that have already ended. Where there was hidden disloyalty, subtle manipulation, or unspoken resentment, truth is stepping in. You will begin to sense it before any word is spoken. You will feel an inner tightening around people who do not belong near your spirit. That unease is not paranoia. It is discernment sharpening inside you. And when these ties break, and some will, do not see it as loss. See it as sacred separation. Every departure of someone who drained your strength creates room for restoration to rise within you. When the wrong voices grow quiet, inner truth grows louder. The people who once clouded your judgment, pulled you away from your core, or diluted your sense of direction will no longer be able to cross into the protected space around you. Their influence falls away because your spirit is now guarded with intention. What once felt normal, over-explaining, over-giving, overthinking, will begin to feel foreign. This is not suspicion. This is clear spiritual awareness. It reveals what cannot remain hidden any longer. False friendships, controlling ties, unseen motives, they cannot stand under the new light inside you. You will not have to confront or debate your worth. The truth of who people are will show up in their actions, their tone, their sudden distance, or their unexpected discomfort in your presence. The shift you feel is real. Your atmosphere has changed, and not everyone can remain where truth is present. You may find that conversations grow strained with those who once moved freely around you. You may notice that certain individuals who were confident in your silence suddenly seem uneasy. This is not about anger. It is about alignment. Their coverings drop because they were never meant to hold influence over your future. Where you are going requires loyalty, honor, and purity. Not perfection, but authenticity. Anyone wearing a mask will find it difficult to remain in your orbit. At the same time, you will begin to feel your energy returning. Not because life has gotten easier, but because less is leaking out through unguarded connections. Your thoughts sharpen. Your emotional balance steadies. Your inner voice becomes more distinct. What once seemed complicated becomes simple. The strength you thought was lost begins to rise, not in sudden bursts, but in consistent waves. You'll notice that tasks that once drained you now feel lighter because you are no longer spending your energy on people or patterns that do not align with your calling. As this separation continues, do not cling to what tries to leave. Do not chase understanding. Do not apologize for outgrowing pain. Growth often looks like loss before it looks like clarity. What is being removed for your good. What is being revealed for your protection. And what is being strengthened for where you are headed. This refinement reaches even deeper still. Your inner sense of direction, once tangled by doubt, is being recalibrated. You will recognize warning signs sooner. Choices that once felt tempting will suddenly feel wrong. Patterns that once trapped you will no longer appeal to your spirit. Opportunities that seem appealing on the surface will carry an unmistakable heaviness you cannot ignore. This is guidance from within, aligned with the sacred structure placed around you. You are being taught to trust what you feel in your deepest quiet. That is where truth speaks first. Even if your mind tries to negotiate or your emotions hesitate, your spirit will know. Honor that knowing. It is the compass being restored to you. It will keep you from returning to cycles that nearly broke you. It will protect you from places where your worth would be overlooked or your purpose minimized. As this purification unfolds, you might experience moments of ache, not because the process is harming you, but because release can feel like grief when you're letting go of what once felt familiar. Let the ache come and let it pass. Nothing essential will be taken from you, only what cannot remain with who you are becoming. You are stepping into a place where you no longer tolerate the things that quietly harmed you. You are rising into a steadiness that makes deception uncomfortable and truth unmistakable. The clearer your spirit becomes, the more your life will reflect it. Your conversations will shift. Your expectations will change. Your choices will refine. And people will notice, not because you are trying to prove anything, but because clarity naturally carries weight. You will walk differently because you see differently. And you will protect your peace not from fear, but from understanding. This is the work of purification. Not to empty you, but to free you. Not to expose you, but to prepare you. Not to leave you alone, but to make space for what is truly yours. Let this process continue its unfolding. Let the old ties loosen. Let the false connections fall away. You are being made clear so you can walk into the next part of your calling with unburdened steps and an undivided heart. You are entering a season where strength returns to you in ways you did not expect. Not a burst of adrenaline, not a momentary surge, but a steady, enduring strength that rises from a deeper well than you've ever drawn from before. The exhaustion that once wrapped itself around you is loosening its grip. The heaviness that made even simple tasks feel overwhelming is beginning to dissolve. You may not recognize this shift at first, because it doesn't arrive with noise or intensity. It shows itself in the calm that begins to fill your body, the clarity that steadies your mind, and the ease with which you move through your day. This is not coincidence. This is restoration taking root. Where fear once dictated your decisions, calm is beginning to take its place. This calm is not passive or fragile. It's a living strength. It anchors your thoughts, slows the rush of worry, and allows you to breathe deeply again. You are learning to exist without carrying tension as your constant companion. The old way of bracing yourself for impact is fading because the environment inside you is changing. You are not waiting for the next setback. You are learning what it feels like to stand without trembling. This restoration will begin to influence the smallest parts of your life. Tasks that once took hours will take minutes. Responsibilities that felt like mountains will become manageable. You will find yourself finishing what you start, not because you force yourself to push harder, but because inner resistance is dissolving. The cycle of beginning strong and fading halfway is breaking. You are not being driven by stress anymore. You are being guided by purpose. The difference is profound. Your purpose itself is becoming clearer. For so long, confusion blurred the path in front of you. Doubt made you second-guess every idea, every step, every instinct. But now the haze is lifting. What once felt complex begins to feel natural. You start sensing what aligns with your spirit and what doesn't. The future no longer feels like an unsolvable puzzle. It feels like a path being revealed one step at a time, with each step giving you more certainty. You will notice a new rhythm forming around you. This is not a frantic rush forward. It is a balanced, intentional movement. When something is right for your journey, it will flow toward you with ease. People will show up unexpectedly. Opportunities will align in timing you couldn't orchestrate. Circumstances will shift without you forcing them. And you will know, deep within, that these are not coincidences. They are confirmations. This is what it feels like when your inner compass finally points true north. As your strength returns, so does your creativity. Ideas that once flickered faintly now come with clarity and depth. You begin to remember passions you had forgotten. You rediscover the parts of you that had gone quiet during seasons of survival. The true self beneath the weight of fear, heartbreak, and confusion begins to rise. You may even feel moments of excitement you cannot fully explain yet. This is the stirring of purpose waking up inside you. But with this awakening comes responsibility. Your renewed energy is not meant to be scattered. It is sacred. It is given to help you build, establish, and step into the assignments ahead. Wasting it on proving yourself to others, fighting unnecessary battles, or chasing validation will drain you quickly. Instead, use it to grow, to create, to move with intention. Your strength is meant to lift you, not to be spent in places you've already outgrown. As you continue to change, others may not fully understand the shift in you. Some will admire it. Some will be inspired. Others may feel uncomfortable because the old version of you made them more secure. But you are no longer shrinking yourself to make others feel at ease. Your presence is becoming more grounded, and grounded people create discomfort in unstable spaces. Do not interpret that discomfort as a reason to retreat. It is simply evidence that your internal alignment is real. You will also feel your emotional responses changing. What once triggered you deeply now barely stirs you. What once made you overthink now feels clear and simple. You are not becoming hardened, you are becoming stable. You are learning to distinguish between genuine guidance and old fears pretending to protect you. With this stability comes a new level of discernment. You will recognize when something is not yours to carry. You will know when to stay, when to walk away, and when to wait. This is the maturity being formed in you. Even your relationship with challenges is shifting. Instead of becoming overwhelmed, you will navigate them with a steady mind. The pressure will not crush you. It will reveal your capacity. You will feel yourself growing stronger in ways that surprise you. What used to break your spirit will now serve as fuel for your forward movement. The same situations that once drained you will now sharpen you. You are not the same person who walked through past storms. You are rising as someone who has learned to walk with purpose even when the wind is against you. And as you keep moving, you will see how every delay, every detour, every heartbreak played a role in shaping this strength. You are gaining the ability to look back without bitterness. You will start to understand how even the most painful moments contributed to your foundation. The life within you is being made new, not by erasing your past, but by transforming it into wisdom and resilience. You are stepping into a clarity that feels like waking up from a long sleep. The fog of old habits, old fears, and old patterns is clearing. Your purpose is beginning to pull you forward with a force you cannot ignore. And the more you trust the inner knowing rising within you, the more your steps will feel guided, deliberate, and right. This is not temporary. This is not a phase. This is the emergence of who you were always meant to be. Someone steady, someone purposeful, someone clear. Let this strength grow. Let this calm settle. Let this purpose take shape. You are being restored so you can rise with stability and intention. Everything ahead of you requires this version of you, and you are ready in ways you do not yet realize. You are stepping into a way of living that is not random, not rushed, not pieced together from fragments of old survival patterns. A sacred order is being formed within you, an inner architecture built to hold the weight of your calling. This is why your routines, your thoughts, your emotions, and even your physical energy are shifting. You may feel drawn to stillness at times you once filled with noise. You may feel a sudden urge to simplify, to clear space, to breathe differently. These are not whims. They are signals that your life is being shaped into a pattern that aligns with the guidance now rising inside you. This guidance does not always speak with loud declarations. More often it comes through subtle inner nudges, the sense that a certain conversation isn't for you, the feeling that a particular environment drains your spirit, the quiet pull toward practices that bring clarity. You might not always understand why these movements occur, but you will notice that following them brings peace, while ignoring them creates unease. This is how you learn to recognize truth from within, not through pressure but through resonance. The structure forming in your life requires attention. You are being called into a rhythm, one that strengthens rather than exhausts you. There will be mornings when you feel naturally drawn toward reflection, or a moment of silence before the day begins. You'll notice your mind making space for planning, preparation, and intentional focus. This isn't rigidity, it's alignment. It's the shaping of a life that can sustain the spiritual weight placed upon you. A scattered routine cannot support a grounded purpose. That is why you are being guided into practices that center you. This inner architecture is also dismantling old supports, false identities, coping mechanisms, and beliefs about yourself that were built from wounds rather than truth. You may feel parts of your life trembling, not because they are breaking, but because they were never stable to begin with. A foundation formed in pain cannot hold the future being created for you. So the shaking you feel is not destruction. It is clearing. It is the unmaking of what you built to survive, so something stronger can be built for you to thrive. When certain connections feel strained, or when familiar roles become uncomfortable, do not assume something is wrong. This is the process of truth rearranging your inner world. You are being guided away from attachments that were based on insecurity, fear, or habit. You are being redirected toward relationships where your purpose is supported rather than minimized. This can feel like loss at first, but look closer. What is leaving is what cannot sustain the version of you that is emerging. As this sacred order settles into place, your decision-making will also transform. You will stop choosing from fear. You will stop saying yes to avoid disappointing others. You will stop bending your identity to maintain peace that was never real. Instead, you will begin choosing from a place of alignment. If something doesn't resonate with your spirit, you will feel it immediately. If something matches your direction, you will feel drawn to it even if it seems unfamiliar. This is the wisdom developing within you, the kind of wisdom that doesn't rely on external approval. Your boundaries, too, will evolve, not as walls of defense, but as markers of self-respect. You will no longer explain why you need rest, why you need space, or why your spirit resists certain environments. You will simply know it, and that knowing will be enough. Those who understand your path will honor those boundaries. Those who do not understand will reveal themselves through their reactions. The purpose placed within you is too critical to be compromised by guilt or misunderstanding. This inner architecture also brings a new stability to your emotions. Where once your feelings rose and fell sharply, you will now experience a more grounded response. Peace becomes your natural state, not a rare moment you chase. Worry loses its grip, not because life becomes perfect, but because your foundation becomes strong. You are learning to live from a place where calm is not dependent on circumstances. It rises from within, held by the structure being formed inside you. And as this calm becomes your baseline, your external world will begin to reflect it. Your relationships will shift toward honesty. Your work will feel more purposeful. Your steps will align with intention. You will notice that people respond differently to you, not because you demand anything, but because clarity naturally carries authority. Your presence will begin to change the atmosphere around you, not through force, but through the quiet weight of someone who is anchored. This anchoring also allows you to hear guidance more clearly. You will start recognizing the difference between your own thoughts and the gentle inner knowing that comes from a deeper place. It might show up as a sudden caution at night, as clarity during quiet moments, or as peace that settles when you consider a particular direction. These internal signals are not imagination. They are the language of guidance speaking through your spirit. The structure being built within you is not temporary. It is not meant to carry you through a single chapter, but through the unfolding of your entire purpose. This is why it requires intention. This is why it asks for your participation. You are not being shaped into someone rigid. You are being shaped into someone strong enough to carry influence without collapsing. Someone wise enough to recognize truth without hesitation. Someone grounded enough to move forward without losing themselves. This inner pattern will travel with you everywhere, quietly correcting you when you drift, steadying you when fear rises, pointing you back toward alignment when confusion tries to return. It will guide every decision that matters. It will guard every step you take. It will ensure you do not wander from the direction prepared for you. Remember this: you are not being restricted. You are being refined. You are not being controlled. You are being strengthened. You are not being boxed in. You are being shaped into someone capable of carrying a calling that requires clarity, discipline, and courage. The life you are moving into cannot be held by the old version of you. It requires this new structure, this new rhythm, this sacred order. Let the patterns form. Let the guidance lead. Let the architecture become sturdy within you. You are being prepared for more than you realize. And soon, you will see that everything you are learning now becomes the very framework that supports your future.